Craig Grills, it's sitting up around the 28% mark. So when they combine, they certainly combine on the right horses. Here's our favourite heading down to the start, the 4 in Delinquent. Last start at Terra rated quite high, much higher than some of his rivals' last start performances. Didn't do much in one run as a 2-year-old. He was obviously put aside and then come back and run a nice 4th fresh up over the mile at Tiara. And you'd expect he comes to the races today just that little bit fitter and is aided by the claim of Sam McNair bringing that weight down to 55.5. As I mentioned, a number of runners have had a little bit of specking here. Black Sea, the other one of those, the Shadow Roll goes on this afternoon for the Bill Thurlow and Sam O'Malley camp. He's a lovely big ranger staying type. They kicked him off at a mile this preparation. They've elected to go a mile again this afternoon. It was a disappointing fresh up run from Black Sea. He was cleared of any abnormalities from the vet post the race and behind Crafty Colin back on the 4th of October. They've given him a little bit of time in between runs, and he was only narrowly beaten second up last preparation when they did step out to the mile. So, look, I guess there's some hope in the camp that with that slight gear change and the Shadow Roll going on, that he can see an improved, or we can see an improved performance from the horse this afternoon. One of our first starters, or fresh up runners I should say, not first starters, going round is on a mission from the Roger James and Robert Wellwood camp, and it's actually quite nice to see Roger James down here at New Plymouth this afternoon. You've got a couple of runners in, and it's quite nice to come down here and enjoy a bit of sunshine.
Absolutely, I always enjoy this drive down, and amazingly we've got a track that you could almost say is very firm, but it's a nice relief from what we've been having.
On a mission, we saw this horse step out on debut, probably not the performance you're after, but you elected straight away to put the horse aside. What's the build-up been like, and how's the horse developed in between preparations?
She's very much a traditional old New Zealand late maturing stayer. She won't be racing at a mile much longer. She'll get over ground very quickly. She's had a nice prep for it. I thought she presented really well. The prelim was good. And really she's got to run a race today to have a future.
What have you made of the trials?
Adequate, but her work at home has been nice. She's still a little bit new and a little bit looky, but I imagine she'll be in the first 4 in the running today, and I'll be disappointed if she doesn't run some sort of race for us. And
is that the reason that you've elected to put the blinkers on today?
Very much so, yeah. She's always been a bit spooky, and she's 4-year-old now, and it's time to put big boy pants on.
You've also got Russian Blues going around in the next race. Again, you put the blinkers on at Taupo last start. Probably got a little bit further back than what we've seen in recent runs. What did you make of that performance?
Yeah, the jock said she didn't handle the track at all. Hopefully she's okay on a rock hard track, but we're going to find out. She's worked better of late too, and she probably looks a better filly than she has all season. She's stripped up and looks more athletic. She's been quite a rotund little girl, and she looks very well today. So
in your mind, from what you've seen at home and how she's going to present physically, you'd expect a better run out there this afternoon than perhaps what we've seen?
I very much expect a better run, but I think Tony Pike's horse with its form looks the standout almost of the day, so if we could run second to that, I'd be pretty happy.
We could be cheeky and say that it likes to find one to beat it though, couldn't we, Roger? It might be your one today.
We hope so, Jane.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Roger James with a couple of nice types going around this afternoon here at New Plymouth, including a nice mare by Tarzino in race number 2. Picked up for $240,000 at the yearling sales, and has had almost 11 months in between preparations. As you can see, at double figures, they're sitting around $17. But I think you can be a little bit buoyed by the comments from Roger James that she is a mare that's going to be stepping out a little bit further than a mile. The blinkers going on today are just really going to help her put herself in the race and concentrate. And he made a comment about the type of mare she is, and she certainly did make her presence felt in the mounting yard. But our favourite is Delinquent before. And as you would imagine, lightly tried, has a little bit of upside and wasn't beaten far first up, fitter for that outing, and the market is suggesting that she well, he is a galloper that can really improve here this afternoon. I'm going to head up to Justin and get his thoughts on the race. And again, you've elected to go with the favourite on top here, Justin.
Yeah, tough race, I thought, but I think he's a strong chance, but no major confidence here. Probably could mark down 5 or 6, really, and he's short enough, I suppose, but he's in from 460 into 360. Delinquent, the son of Reliable Man. Tony Pike, always fairly reliable man to follow when he ventures to the CD, particularly here to Taranaki. Look, a good chance in the race. I think he seems to be a little improved since they put the blinkers on. They went on last start. He ran well, I thought, in quite a nice enough Maiden there. Big trial winner prior to that, albeit beat limited opposition, but he was much more sparked up with the blinkers on. Hopefully he can take up a forward spot. I think it'll be fairly hard to come from too far back today, particularly in this big field. So he's on top. 13, I reckon, some value in the race. Lucky to be here, although that value has been eaten away. There's a few others thinking the same because she was, what was she originally? $13. I thought she's a chance here on what she did first up. It wasn't a bad run at all. In fact, I liked the run. Of course, we've got Ashoka. Plenty of people tipping it from the same race upcoming today, including me. So I liked her run. I think she could improve with a low gate and Vinnie Cole get aboard. So we're just about set to go here. The last couple to come forward. Shamwari, number 3, will be better on the better ground today. He's got a good gate. He's been well backed, and he was in next for me. Race 2, the Poetic Prince Maiden on Legends Race Day, and what a legend he was. A real glamour horse of the 80s, of course. 16 wins, multiple Group 1 winner. A star of the 80s, and who will ever forget that 1988 Cox Plate victory over 2 of our other champs, Horlicks and Bone Crusher, at all Kiwi trifecta. Ridden by Noel Harris. Set to go. By default on the outside already. Gates back. They're off for the Poetic Prince Maiden. And beginning nicely, Shamwari in the favourite, jumped away quickly. Delinquent, Rockabilly put in the race, and up on the outside by default is heading forward as well and pushing through underneath all of those runners. Lucky to be here, followed by Boy, and then On a Mission. It'll settle down midfield on the inside of Black Sea, and further back BB Herb. Well back as they settle into stride. Great Adventure and Just Joking the last. The favourites taking it up. Delinquent over Rockabilly. 2 lengths away, Shamwari is third on the outside of Lucky to be here as the leader looks to slacken it now, and Doyle didn't want any of that, so he took off around them quickly with Shamwari to take up the running, and then came by default, followed by Boy On a Mission. Further back is BB Herb, and the Wheeler Colours and the Poetic Prince Maiden. Well back is Black Sea, Just Joking, Great Adventure. There's about 13 or 14 first to last to the end of the back, and Shamwari put some speed into the race and led it by a length on Rockabilly. Delinquent is third on the inside with a length away by default. Lucky to be here is now niggled at, followed then by On a Mission. Boy is losing ground. Well back there was Black Sea as they approach the home corner. Well back BB Herb, Just Joking, Great Adventure. Shamwari the leader and has got them chasing. Hits a turn for home, led by 2 lengths. Rockabilly the inside. Delinquent 4 lengths away to the others. Shamwari down to the 200, a length and a half. Rockabilly giving chase, then Delinquent. Boy goes to 4th. Shamwari just keeps on finding here, more than a length in front for Joe Doyle. A great ride, and this is 200. Kiwi wins for Joe Doyle as well. A good milestone there for the Irishman. Won it by 3 lengths. Rockabilly second, Delinquent third, followed by Boy. Black Sea running on from On a Mission. BB Herb by default. Lucky to be here. Well back, Great Adventure and Just Joking. Well, a good ride because he took the initiative when Sam McNabb slammed on the anchors, so he just whipped off and around them and then controlled it, kicked away. And yes, I think evidence here, it's going to be pretty hard to make ground on a very firm deck. And Shamwari and Joe Doyle, and that's 200 wins for him. Of course, that's 200 wins in Kiwi land for the Irishman. He's got many more than that internationally, but 200 for him. Rockabilly has been very good up in trip today, and Delinquent has run well. So a milestone here, Jane, for the Irishman. Joe Doyle racks up 200 in New Zealand.
Yeah, nice result for Joe Doyle, picking up win 200 of his career, and it was a smart ride too, because we saw the favourite, the 4 Delinquent, Keen to get to the lead, but then really put the brakes on, and Joe Doyle made a move mid-race, and it seemed to be the winning one. I'm joined by Mark Forbes. First of all, congratulations. A nice result. You and Joe have got a wonderful combination together. You seem to be able to get the results when you put him on, and he's delivered for you out there today.
Yeah, to be fair, it's the first year he's probably started riding for me, and we're having a great result so far, so we're really enjoying it at the moment.
What were your thoughts watching the race unfold? Because it actually looked like you'd settled into quite a nice position, but then the speed just come right out of the race.
Yeah, look, Joe's ridden him once before. He's been very frustrating horse. He probably should have won 3 or 4 by now, but he sort of looms up to them and then won't go past them. But today, obviously, in front, and he was just minding his own business and very happy with it.
What sort of things have you been working on with him at home to try and rectify some of those race day behaviours?
I don't know. Like, he's the quietest horse ever at home, but he just won't go past his mates. So we've just tried everything, and obviously the shadow roll went on today, and we took the tongue tie off. He might have just been reluctant with having that on, and the tongue control went on. So very happy.
Stepping up to a mile today obviously proved fruitful, and it looks like when you take a look at his breeding page that he might appreciate a little bit further as well. Is that the impression he gives you?
Yeah, 100%. We gave him one go over 2,000 last year, and he went a good race. He ran third, but did the similar thing. But once he gets up to 2,000 plus, it's going to be his go.
Is that once he gets a bit of confidence and learn that he needs... Mark Forbes there with a little bit of information around Shamwari. Did start at Maiden back on the 4th of October over the 1,400 metre trip, and as he mentioned, it was beaten a certain margin, but he's a horse that obviously has a few little issues when it comes to his racing manners and just learning what the game's all about. I think when you reflect on what we saw this afternoon and the decision that Joe Doyle made to push forward on